Well, I graduated, and that was 1932. And then I went with Fess Williams. Me and Bob Schaffner, we went to Savoy Ballroom. That was the first time I went. The band went there, and then I worked dance for Ella. She didn't have a band there, she worked with Chick. Well, Chick was funny. He had two drummers. He would sit around, and then the other drummer, he'd play for the band. You see, he wasn't a rhythm, he was a break man. He could make the damnedest breaks you ever heard. It sounded like an avalanche of drums, you know? 1, 2, and clap hands, here comes Charlie. And boy, there's a break in there, man, that you never forget if you ever heard it, you know? After a while, I went back to Chicago. That's when I joined Jimmie Noone. See, we were playing at the Platinum Lounge. Their neighborhood's all torn down now. And Fletcher was at the Grand Terrace. And he had Chu with him at that time, see? We were both broadcasting every night. And I was with Jimmie Noone, see? So we would play, and I would play the sax. Well, somebody must have got word around. He came, and Jimmie, he let us jam on there. I never will forget that. Jimmie's that kind of fella. And I didn't feel bad. I knew my keys. I wasn't Chu, but I didn't sound like Chu either, you know? So I had no way. Jimmie was such a beautiful clarinet player. He could play a lead, and that's what I
Sweet low ring.
Yeah.
That was his theme.
That was his theme. I picked up clarinet, but then he laid my clarinet down because, man, that player got such a beautiful clarinet. My clarinet, I sound like I was blowing through a pipe or something, you know? So I didn't play nothing but sax. He made me know what a clarinet sounds like, when I can get that sound, you know. And Donnie Howard was pretty good, too. He was a damn good clarinet player. He was a violin player, but he could play the hell out of clarinet.
And he was a hell of a jazz violinist, man.
Yeah,
He was the greatest I ever heard, man.
Where did you work after Jimmie Noone?
I had gone with Fletcher. I was with Fletcher Henderson when I quit the band.
When did you go to New York to stay?
No, I lived in New York when I quit Fletcher. It was so disgusting, you know. He was writing all this good music and the band was just sloppy. And I got me to drinking, you know. And then I said, well, this is time for me to get out of here because I get drunk and they had to come and get me when I go to sleep. But I had memorized the book, like Duke, you know. When you play a show 6 weeks, you memorize everything in the show. You don't need music, you know. The guys just set up the stands just for the new music, you know, that you'd be picking up. Fletcher, he always had new arrangement and he'd play anybody's arrangement if it was good. There was no stylized and nothing like that. If it was good, he played it. That's different than most bands. Most bands want you to style it, you know.
How did your career continue after the war?
I got a job in Europe, went to the USO, and when I got through, this date come up for a year in Sweden, and they wanted the band to play around the park, and we played these parks, and we got through. I stayed in Sweden because the other guys went back, and I wanted to stay, and my wife wanted to sing. I worked in a club there, a dance hall called National. But the thing about it was, she was a brown-skinned girl, and they didn't think I could play because I was light. They would put the thing in the hotel, but they put her picture there, and they put some other fella's picture there, and my picture never was there. I never forget that. It hurt me, man. Then I came back to Chicago.